Welcome to the big show. This is it, the podcast, the Hobnobbin with Slim Man podcast, where we have conversations with creative people on both sides of the showbiz coitin'. That's right. I am your host, the Slim Man, the dude of slimness, Slim Papa, showstopper. And we are coming to you from the town that Frank Sinatra made famous. I'm talking about Palm Springs, California. How is everybody? Is everybody okay? There's been a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, and I just hope that the slimmest of all people are doing fine and dandy. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. All right, in this episode, we are going to have a chat with Maysa. She's an incredible singer. She's from my hometown of Baltimore, Maryland. Balmer, Maryland is the way we pronounce it back east. And Maysa shares some great stories about her life in the music business. But before we get started, let me tell you, Slim people, what's been shaking here at the Slim Shack. Well, I told you the story about Slim Man's pesto sauce. I'm in the process of getting it bottled, so I went through the whole ordeal last week of chopping and grating and measuring and weighing out all the ingredients. And I wrote it all up and sent the breakdown and a jar of pesto to a food technologist, a guy who can figure out all the ingredients and all the nutritional info for the labels and stuff. Well, I just heard back from food technologist dude, and he's a little concerned because we need something in the recipe to preserve it, something acidic like lemon or vinegar or citric acid. Now, I'm not so sure how all that stuff's going to affect the taste of the pesto, but we will figure it out. My friend, The Wiz, that's what he goes by. The Wiz is a chemist, and I'm sure we can find a way to preserve the pesto. We must preserve the pesto, Slim people. All right, what else? I've got some gigs coming up. I've got a benefit concert on Saturday, November the 4th in San Juan Capistrano, California. I've got a gig in Wisconsin on Friday, November the 17th. And I just got confirmation on the Slim Christmas show at the Ram's Head Tavern in Annapolis, Maryland on Friday, December 22nd. Now, we've done the Ram's Head a few years in a row, and I always try to do something a little different every year, kind of switch things up a bit. Now, this year, I was thinking of learning a new instrument. Something small. I was thinking maybe like a ukulele, but I wanted something that I could also play solos with. So, Slim people, I ordered a harmonica. I'm going to surprise the guys in the band. Don't worry. I'm sure none of them listen to these podcasts. Anyway, this is what I want to do. I want to do a blues harmonica solo during Blue Christmas. I just got off the phone with Peter White, the guitar player. I told him what I wanted to do, and Peter told me that he was a junior champion harmonica player in England back in the day. And Peter told me how to do the basics, the harmonica basics. And Slim people, I'm going to learn how to play the harmonica. Anyway, come on out to a show. All the gigs are listed on the slimman.com website. Oh, what else? Oh, I made a red wine sauce that was amazing. Scrumptiddlyumptious, I'm talking. The recipe is in the Slim Man Cooks cookbook, but I'll tell you real quick how to make it. Take a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of olive oil. Put them in a small sauté pan over medium-high heat. Then add 2 tablespoons of chopped shallots and a tablespoon of minced garlic. Let it sauté for a couple of minutes and gently shake it around. Give it a couple of stirs, Slim folks. All right, the next step is kind of dangerous, Slim people. Be careful. Let the dogs out, put the kids in their bedrooms, and have the garden hose close by. I took about a quarter cup of cognac. I added it to the sauce, and then I took one of those lighters, the one with the real long handles, and I lit the cognac on far, F-A-R, far, and wow. It was explosive. As a matter of fact, I had to take the pan off the stovetop because the flames are shooting so high up in the air. Now, I love stuff like that. I think I might be a pyromaniac, but I think it's only when I'm cooking. I'm not going to burn any houses down or anything, unless it's while I'm cooking. Anyway, when I was a youngin', I saw my uncle Oscar make his famous vodka tomato cream sauce, and when he lit the vodka on fire and the flames shot up like 12 feet up in the air, I knew I wanted to work those kind of fireworks into my cooking routine. So I've created some sauces that have more pyrotechnics than an AC/DC concert. But seriously, Slim folks, be careful when you light this sauce on fire. I need every one of you. Yes, I do. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, add the cognac to the shallots and garlic and light it on fire. Let the cognac burn off. Then add the red wine and the beef stock. Let it reduce for a couple of minutes and stir it up, while it's reducing. Add a couple tablespoons of tomato paste and give it a good stir. Mix it in. Then add some dried oregano, maybe a teaspoon or so, and stir it up. Turn the heat down and let it simmer for a few minutes there, Slim folks. And wow, this sauce is so good. I put it over some ahi tuna that I had seared, but you can use it over grilled chicken or maybe a steak au poivre. That's a steak with black pepper. You could also use this sauce as a hair gel or a massage oil. Oh, she's so nice. Anyway, it was really, really good. I took some photos and I put them and the recipe up on the slimmancooks.com website, free for all slim people, because I love you. I love you. Yes, I do. All right, enough about my boring so-called life. Let's dig into my chit-chat with Maysa. Her full name is Maysa Leak. She's a singer. She's from Baltimore, just like me. And we had a great conversation. We really did. Maysa is such a joy. She's got a great laugh and a really positive attitude. And, she's resourceful and determined and creative. And I don't know, I love her voice. One of my favorite songs of hers is called Sunshine. It's cool and sexy and bright and breezy. You should check it out when you get a chance. There was so much I wanted to talk to Maysa about, but she was in the middle of moving. Sad story, Maysa's family home in Baltimore had recently burned down, and she was living in an apartment, moving out the next day. And Maysa was sweet enough to talk to me in the middle of all this rigmarole. So folks, let's dig in. Let's dig into my chat with Maysa. Here we go. Hobnobbin with Slim Man and Maysa. Was it difficult getting all this stuff done with the microphone and recording and all that stuff?
Oh no! It's not hard. It's just my son has it set up, his little Apple, and he has some speakers, and so that's why I do karaoke every Sunday with this. I just use my iPhone to record the live.
So wait a second, hold on. You do karaoke every Sunday. What is that?
Oh yeah. Oh, so on Sunday nights, I do. It's called Maysa's Sunday Karaoke, which I started because I wanted to introduce my new website. This is early last year. No, it's been more than a year now. Uh-huh. It's almost 2 years now. So what happened was I just started to go on Facebook Live and sing some of my tracks, just using the computer and going on Facebook Live, whatever.
Yeah.
And honey, everybody just kept emailing me, texting me, "Oh, please, can you do it again? Can you do it again?" And so I started doing. I said, "Okay, I'll do it again next Sunday." And then it just became something. And then now it's getting really big. Last week I had a friend of mine, April Ryan, the White House correspondent, came in, and we had 60,000 views for that one.
Are you serious? How many?
Oh yeah, it's crazy, 60,000. But I average on a Sunday. I've been averaging between 15 and 30 on my own. It's just crazy. I don't know what's going on, but it's become a family. I do an hour. It started off as half an hour, and then all of a sudden now it's an hour. And sometimes I do an hour, in 45 minutes. It's crazy.
Wow. So What made you think of that? That's really smart to go out there
I know.
and do and so it's Facebook Live. It's every Sunday.
Mm-hmm,
And
7:30 p.m. Eastern time.
7:30 Eastern time, and people tune in. How they just go to Facebook and look up Maysa?
If they go on my like page, it should show up. If you go to my like page, it should give you some kind of reminder or something. But Facebook has put it as a page to watch. Quite a few weeks in a row.
So what do you do for an hour? You're not singing for an hour. You're just singing
Yeah, I sing for an whole hour. It's a free concert, basically what it is.
Really?
And I can't tell you how many gigs I get from doing this. It's amazing. Like people, they see this and they call my agents and stuff, and because I saw Maysa on Facebook Live and I need it for this event. And can I have it for this event? It's amazing how it's working out. And that's not why I do it. I do it because I'm trying to sing to people who can't come to my shows, and I sing songs, during karaoke that I don't normally do on my shows. So if people come to my concert and I might not do their song, but they can come and sit at home, and get ready for the next day. I mean, they drink wine, and one guy said, I'm going to bring a date next week. It's crazy.
So what are you doing? Are you sitting in your studio?
Yeah, in my pajamas. And I put a full face of makeup on though, because it's Facebook. You can't go in there looking raggedy. So I put a full face of makeup on, eyelashes and everything, and I put a hat on every week because I put a hat on one week and then I came up tradition like, oh, what hat is she going to wear next week, kind of thing. And so that became that. And so now I wear a hat, and I'm pretty much in my pajamas, ready to go to bed, and I just wash my face, take a shower, go to bed. It's just real easy. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything, and it makes people happy, and that's what makes me happy, that people are enjoying it.
Well, how are you filming this? Are you doing it with a computer camera, some kind of what do you?
No, it's just on Facebook Live on my cell phone.
Oh, on your cell phone. That is just amazing. I'm proud of you, Maysa.
Well, really what happened was Walter Beasley, he's like a mentor, a friend, big brother to me, and what he's done is that he has taught me so many things about just taking chances. I mean, he inspired me to do my first live album. He inspired me to, when I was talking about doing my cologne and perfume line, he was like, Maysa, just go for it. You got to do it. Just go for it all. He said, cause, he kept saying, you have more people following you than you realize, and you got to reach out to them. You got to do these things. He called me and said, Facebook is doing a live thing now, so you should really do Facebook Live because you got a lot of followers on there, and you really could reach out to a lot of people. And so I said, okay. So that's why I did that initial thing for my website. He said that'd be a great way. And then literally it just turned into something else because people really enjoyed me singing on there and doing the, a lot of artists have like previewed their records and stuff, played their records or something like that. But I don't think not too many people have started this song, and not too many people at all do it every week.
For people who don't know who Walter Beasley is, I know who he is, obviously, but why don't you tell them about Walter Beasley and about your relationship with him, because he's a very talented guy.
Oh my gosh, he's one of the greatest, saxophone players we have. Also a bass player. He's now learning to play bass. But Walter Beasley he's had a long history making music and albums, and he taught at Berkeley for many years up in Boston. So he's had a long career, and we've known each other. I think I recorded with him a long time ago. I've had so many musical brothers, I can't even, I remember meeting you because Carl Griffin, and I came to your house and all that kind of stuff. So that's how long we go back.
Yeah,
that was many years ago, like early, the 90s, late 90s.
That was like about 96, 95.
Yeah, 96, yeah.
That was around then.
Yeah.
And so Walter Beasley is your friend. He's a saxophone player, and he's the one who's kind of been like a mentor in some way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's just been very encouraging to trying to help me.
Guided you down the road.
Yeah, guided me through this whole thing. Of being a solo artist and being an independent artist. I think because most people know the artist really has to get into it. Now it's a whole different lifestyle at this point. We have to really know how to do marketing and do your own promotion, because this is the way of the world at this point.
Most people out there, most civilians, most normal people don't realize how much the musical landscape has changed for artists and singers and people who are creating music. It's not it's a much more, how would you explain it? You have to do a lot of things yourself that used to be done by record companies and promotion companies and publicists and all that kind of stuff. You have to do your own marketing and social media marketing, and you have to be
Right.
your own sound engineer and record your own stuff yourself. I mean, you figured, right?
Yeah.
Because you figured all that Facebook stuff out by yourself, right?
Yeah, I did. I really did. It was crazy. It's something it's just something you have to do.
Yeah, but
Hold on a second, please. Let me stop for 1 second. I just
Sure.
have to. We can keep it rolling. Keep everything rolling. I just have to stop. I need y'all to stop that. I can hear that up here. We gotta put this-
what's going on?
We're packing and they taping up boxes and making.
who is we when you say
That's my
we
son,
are
his
packing?
girlfriend and my brother.
Oh,
they
your
all
son
downstairs.
Jazz.
Yeah, Jazz is down there.
How old is he?
Packing up stuff. He's almost 18. He'll be 18 in December.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so where are you moving to or moving from?
I'm moving from the apartment. I was last year on the day Prince passed away. My family home burned down, and I had been moved. My son and I had moved to an apartment a few years prior. My brothers still lived there, but thank God they weren't home at the time. I remember being in California. I just landed, and I went to get a van to pick up my band and go to the gig. We were playing at Catalina's that weekend, and that weekend. And so we arrived Thursday, and when I got off the plane, my phone kept ringing, and I know people have been calling me all day about Prince, so I just thought it was more somebody calling me about Prince. And I get there, and I answered the phone finally after I got the van, and my neighbor said, "Maysa, your house is on fire." And I kept saying, "What?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I thought she was talking about the apartment. So I was upset because I had brought all my parents, precious things to this apartment, and I was like, "Oh my God, everything's in the apartment. What are you talking about?" And so she said, no, the house next door, the big house that burned down, it's burning. No, she said, it's burning. And I said, wait. So I called my cousin. I said, can you go see what's going on? And she said, okay, I'll go over there and see what's going on. And so so I sat there and we drove to 405. And I remember driving and I was like, oh, my feelings kind of scared, but not too bad. I just thought she said it was the garage. And so they put in the ambulance, the fire engines were on the way. So I said, okay, that's cool. So I just kept driving. I told the band, and we all, oh my God, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait till my cousin calls me back. So when she finally called back, she was screaming at the top of her lungs.
Lord.
And she was screaming and crying, and that just made me cry. So I was driving up to 405 and just totally upset.
Oh man.
And so it was scary, but it was okay. I mean, once I realized I had insurance on the house, and I know that and nobody was there, and everything was okay, and our dog was up the street, and I was like, okay, so it was okay. Everything was cool, and I realized I had a lot to go through, but there was no more devastation other than the house.
Did you lose anything in the fire?
Just some old things. I mean, some of my parents' antique furniture and couple things there, but nothing like family photos. I had those with me, so that was a good thing.
So are you when you're moving now? You're moving into some new place, and are you going to?
No, I'm moving back to the house. So we finally almost finished, but we're not quite. I think about another week or two before the house is move-in ready.
Wow.
And so I got to stay at a hotel for a week. So that's where packing up now to get out of I have to be out the apartment before the 1st, so I have to go. And tomorrow is the big day to move all of this stuff into a storage area and continue waiting until the house is done.
That ain't no fun, is it?
I know. It's really difficult. It's really a pain in the butt, but
yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, I've moved. I think I counted them. I think it was 7 times in the last 10 years I've moved.
Wow.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, the last time I moved out here to California. I was living in Nashville for a couple of years. And then a couple of years ago, I moved out to California. And it's nice out here, Maysa. You should.
Yeah, I know.
You should check it out.
Honey, I know. I miss it so much. I'm telling you, I miss it so much. And I really have thought about that, especially when my son starts college. That wouldn't be a good move to make. I think it might be something I can, I think I can take that chance at that time when I know that he's in school and he's doing his thing. Then I can come back out there because I really love California. I've always loved living out there.
I really enjoy it out here. I was on Baltimore, born Baltimore, raised pretty much just like you.
Yeah.
And when and then the first time I really kind of moved away. Well, I've been up and down the 95 back and forth from New York, but I never really moved away
Right.
moved away from the East Coast. Then I went to Nashville, and that was a wonderful music town. I've never heard
Oh yeah.
better singers, better songwriters, production, studios. It was great.
Yeah.
But it's a very competitive town. If you're a dentist and you move to a town where there are 5 million dentists, even if
Right.
even if you're the greatest dentist in the world, you're gonna have some problems.
Right.
How did you get started singing? I mean, what inspired you?
Well, I started singing. I mean, I've sung my whole life, basically. I mean, since I was 2 years old, my mother said I would sing to whoever came to the front door. She said as soon as the front door would ring, I would run over to it and start singing and dancing. And so she would try to stop me, and people was like, no, don't stop the baby, let the baby sing, and that kind of thing. So I've been doing it for a long, long, long time. And it's basically something I've always known, and I listened to the music. And I went down to, when I visited the house the other day, and I went down to the basement. I did a Facebook Live on that, actually. I went through the house a little bit, and I showed people where I taught myself how to sing in the basement of the house, just sitting on that floor, listening to music from my parents' stereo over and over and day in and day out. Music was a huge part of our lives. It was always on. Like, for instance, I got a little older. My mother, instead of her trying to say, get up, let's go to school, she would play the Gap Band, get up early in the morning. And she would play that so loud that we would have to get up. And it was amazing. So music was there all the time, all day long. My mother had this big console stereo that she had. And I remember, all our music was played from that, and she played all the time. So it's just ingrained in me. And so I knew at 6 years old that I wanted to be a singer, because my mother took me to see Pearlie, the play Pearlie, at the Morris Mechanic Theater in Baltimore. And when Melba Moore came out on stage, and I saw the lights and the costumes and the music and her singing, and it just overwhelmed me. And I remember my heart just feeling like it was huge in my chest. And I was like, I want to make people happy. Like I want people to feel like I've just felt, like that moment of just in awe of all of that.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided that's what I wanted to do. So all through middle school, elementary school, middle school, high school, and then into Morgan State University, where I was on the Morgan State Choir, and all of that. I just kept music in my life the whole time.
How was Morgan State? I had friends that used to go there. That was right down the street.
Oh yeah,
it was right down the street from my house. And
wow.
yeah, I remember, going to some football games and stuff. Now, what did you study at Morgan State? You got your degree, right?
Yeah. I got my degree in classical performance.
Now, what is classical performance? Are you talking about like singing opera?
Opera.
Really?
Oh yeah. I was taught opera for 7 years, and my teachers really asked me, did I really want to pursue that, because they really thought that's the direction I should go in, and I just couldn't. I was like, no, I love jazz and R&B and soul too much to be an opera singer. But thank God I had that training, because I've used it for since I've graduated, 1991. I've used it since then, and so what it's done is that it's kept me going.
What did you learn in classical performance with opera? Was it breathing? Was it technique? Was it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, all of that.
All that stuff.
Actually, all that breathing and technique and tonality and coloring and all of that. That's what you have, what you learn, and that's what's the most important parts of it. The breathing and mouth position and what tone you want to present and how you want to sound to everybody. That's really important stuff.
Yeah.
And mostly about the training. The training itself is what you need to warm up. How to warm up. Warming up is a big thing, and cooling your voice down afterwards.
It's really difficult to do some of the stuff that those opera singers do, like hitting high notes and like trying to diminish the volume when you're up there. I don't know how those guys and gals do it. You know what I mean? Like you're hitting a real high note and you're blaring it, and then you got to go soft. I'm like, how? It's a real art form, isn't it?
It is. It truly is.
So did you like school? Did you like Morgan State?
I loved Morgan. I just wasn't a school person. I just didn't like going to classes and all. It just was a lot. But I loved the social part of it. So I had a great social part where all my friends, my friends that I met at Morgan are still my friends to this day. So we're like 33 years in now.
Yeah.
And so it's like that was a beautiful part. Morgan, even with the campus back then, I mean, it was just beautiful. We just loved it.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed being at Morgan State University.
Yeah.
The classes, I mean, it weren't easy. They were challenging. Everything was challenging, but it was fun.
What was your next move? I mean, so you leave Morgan.
Well,
you got your degree,
yeah.
your diploma in your hand, and what did you do?
Yeah, and I moved to California. The year before I graduated, Stevie Wonder came to Morgan to do a Martin Luther King celebration with the choir. And my best friend, Kim Brewer, was already singing with him, and she asked Stevie if I could audition because she wanted me to move to L.A. So he said, sure, she can audition because he was looking for an alto voice. And so I went to the audition. We went back to his hotel, and he had these people set up in this room, a conference room, set up keyboards and stuff for this audition. And so he had me sing. I mean, I know it was I don't know what kind of Phrygian, Mixolydian scales and all that kind of stuff. It was the most incredible and most difficult audition. I didn't think I passed it because I was like, there's no way I can't do this. This is insane. And so my girlfriend had to sing. She had to counter whatever I was singing. So it was a lot of counterpoint, a lot of theory involved. And by the end of it, I survived it. And he told me to come out. Was I ready to come out to California now? And I said, well, no, I got to finish my degree first and hand it to my parents, and then I can go live my life the way I want to. And so that's what I did. As soon as literally, I graduated in January, and January of 91, and I handed my parents the degree, and then by February 20th, I think I moved out to L.A.
Wow.
To sing background with him. And he was working on, it was in the right place at the right time because he was working on the soundtrack for the Jungle Fever project. So my first professional gig was singing background on the song These Three Words.
Wow. So what was it like? What did he call his backup band? Was it the girl singers?
Wonder Love.
Wonder Love. And what was that like? So you sang on the Jungle Fever. Who did that? Was that Spike?
Yeah, Spike Lee, yeah.
Yeah, wow. How could, There you go. You get out of school, you get in the car, you get on the West Coast, and you're singing with Stevie Wonder and singing in a Spike Lee film. Wow.
Yeah.
Was it overwhelming for you? Were you nervous, or were you like?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was a culture shock. I was nervous. I didn't have much money. I was, when I wasn't singing with Stevie, because I was too new to be on a retainer, and he had done the Jungle Fever project. We had toured all over the country with all the TV shows and we did Oprah and David Letterman, and Johnny Carson that was his last year. And
wow.
We did all of that stuff, and we did all these things, all these shows, Byron Allen and Arsenio Hall, and we did all of that. And so we did that, and then he went on a break. I think he was getting ready for a big Brazilian tour or something, and so he went on a break for a while. And then I didn't have anything because I wasn't going on that tour. They didn't invite me to do that tour. So I had to get a job, and I got several jobs. I worked at the Warehouse Music Store. I worked at the Make Company, which is Macy's kind of. And I also taught voice, and I tried to manage this girl group for a little while. So I was out there struggling a little bit from, I would say, the summer of 91 until December of 91 when I was on a session. One of his background singers, Bridget Bryant, had suggested me for a recording session because the producer, a drummer from Scotland named Steve Harvey, was asking for a jazzy type vocal on one of the things. She worked with him a lot. So she told him that she thought I would be best for that song, and I did. I went over there and recorded the song with him. And about a few weeks later, he called me and said, "Maysa, do you want to audition for it? My best friend is looking for a new American singer. He just had a big hit with Jocelyn Brown in London, and so he wants to know if you would be interested in. I mean, you would have to live in London, you would have to do these things." And I was like, "Wow, really?" He's like, "Yeah, I mean, you can audition because he's going to audition about 25 singers." And so I said, "Okay." And I would say another week or so later, Bluey called me on the phone one night.
Now, Bluey, you have to explain to people who Bluey is.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Bluey. Bluey is the leader and producer, founder, one of the co-founders of the group Incognito from England, based in England. It's a group of international musicians who all live in London.
So he called you from London on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened?
And he said, he just asked me a lot of questions. We talked about music, and he asked me, could I sing a little bit of Don't You Worry About a Thing? And I did. He said, can you change the key and sing it again? And I said, okay. And I changed the key and I sang it again, a higher key. And he said, wow. He said, okay, so what I'll do is that I'll have my manager call you tomorrow and he will give you your date for your audition. And I said, okay. Because audition was in London, so they want to fly me over to London to do it. So I said, okay. So the next morning I woke up, it was like really early in the morning, I got this call and I was like, hello? And he's like, Maysa, this is Stephen King is his name. Like all these people have these same names. His name is Stephen King. And he said, I don't know what you sang to Bluey last night, but you got the gig, so he's not going to look for anybody else. So how soon can you come to London? And I mean, just like that, magical, just like that, my life changed.
Wow, that's a pretty crazy story, huh, Slim people? Maysa auditions over the phone from Los Angeles to London and gets the job as the vocalist for the band Incognito. We're going to find out how it all turns out, but first, how about a word from our sponsors? Let me tell you about Uline, one of my favorite businesses to deal with. Uline. I've been using Uline for years, and whenever I need shipping supplies for my CDs or cookbooks, I call Uline. U-L-I-N-E. You know what I love about them? A human being answers the phone. That's right, a real live human being. They have your complete ordering history right there in front of them. You tell them what you want, and they ship it right away. Now, I don't know how they do it, but they always seem to get my orders to me the next day without the next day's shipping fees. So check out their website, uline.com, or give them a call at 800-295-5510. Uline. I use them all the time, Slim people. They are good folks to do biz with. Yeah, they are. Another one of our sponsors here at Hobnobbin with Slim Man is the Foundation for International Aid to Animals, helping animals by helping people care for them. The FIAA is a nonprofit family foundation based right here in the good old U.S. of A. The FIAA has pioneered sterilization and treatment programs for homeless and sheltered dogs, and it also helps people with limited resources treat and care for their pets. They've funded documentaries to bring attention to the problems of homeless and unprotected animals. And it's a real inspiration to see an organization that cares so much, that does so much to help. And if you get inspired, there's a donate button. Go to their website, aidtoanimals.org. That's aidtoanimals.org. Are you looking to buy or sell a home in the Palm Springs area? Well, are you? The weather's starting to get really lovely out here, and if you want to buy or sell a home, I suggest you reach out to Cindy Guzet. She's with Berkshire Hathaway. They're a good company, and she's been living in the Palm Springs area for the past 20 years or so. Cindy Guzet knows the real estate market like nobody else. She's got years of experience, and she's the go-to gal if you're looking for a condo or a house or a vacation home. So no matter what your real estate needs are, you need to reach out to Cindy Guzet. Give her a call, 760-485-2505, or send her an email at cindy.guzet@outlook.com. That's 760-485-2505. Or send an email, cindy.guzet, G-U-S as in Sam, E, @outlook.com. All right, Slim people, let's dig back into my conversation with vocalist Maysa.
See, I was young. I was 24, and I wasn't afraid. I was afraid, but I wasn't. I was fearless at that time. I just knew I knew I had to. I didn't want to come to LA to work in the May company.
Right.
I came to LA to start my career as a solo artist, but I knew, but doing this, I just had a feeling in my heart. I said, no matter what, I can come back home, because I had a round trip ticket. That's all I kept focused on.
So
and,
when you arrived, what happened? You get there.
Oh my gosh! When I got there,
did they pick you up in a car and take you to a hotel?
No, it took him. No, about 6 hours later. What happened was when I got there, the customs agent asked me what I was doing while I was there. I said, "My name is Maysa. I'm here to have a meeting with a man named Bluey." And so that was just his nickname. His name is Jean-Paul Monique. But anyway, I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know what his real name was. So I said, I'm going to meet a man named Bluey. And they said, well, how much money did you bring in the country? I said, well, I only have $3. And they were like, wait a minute, Mr. Really saying we only have $3 to your name? And I said, well, the man named Bluey said he's going to give me money when I get here. And they was like, oh, really?
Sounds like some kind of gangster film.
Right. And he was like, they were like, what? And they were like, oh, no. We're going to have to put you. So I didn't know Bluey's real name. I didn't know how to get in touch with him. I didn't have his phone number. I was sitting in customs. I didn't have a visa. I didn't have anything. I was just sitting there like as a visitor at a visitor's thing. And so I said, well, I don't know what to do. And they said, well, miss, we think we're going to send you back to L.A. And I'm like, no, I don't have nowhere to go in L.A. I don't have an apartment. I was crying. I was begging them. I was like, my life is going to change. I just have to get here. I just had to get here. And so they took me to a room where this really, really huge lady from like Germany, she was like, take off your clothes. I was like, what?
Are you serious?
I was like, take off my clothes for what? So by this time, I'm hysterical and I'm crying. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she said, we had to do a cavity check. And I was like, cavity check for what? And then she put on these gloves and they told me this robe. But I just sat there and I was crying. I wouldn't take my clothes off. And they were like, miss, take your clothes off or you're going to have to go back to L.A. on the next flight. And I was sitting there crying, and all of a sudden this man knocked on the door. He said, we found Bluey. And so Bluey, because I had taken like 3 hours. It was almost 4 hours, they were wondering why I didn't come out. And they had checked the flight. I made the flight, so they knew I was in customs stuck, so they didn't know what's going on. So they finally came and got me. And so after all that trauma, Bluey took me straight to the studio. He didn't take me to the hotel to check in or anything. He's like, you got to hear this music. You got your life. Everything's going to change. Everything's about to change for the both of us. Just come listen to this music. And so the first song that he let me hear was a song called Change from the album Tribes, Vibes, and Scribes. And so when I heard the music, though, the first night I heard that and I heard I Love What You Do For Me. When I heard those two songs and I heard the version of Don't You Worry About a Thing, I just knew. I was like, oh, my gosh, this is how it's going to change. My life is about to change right now.
When good things happen, they happen really quickly.
They do, yeah. So then I toured with them for a while and was them for a few years. And then we were at the North Sea Jazz Festival. And,
wow.
Yeah, and we did this room that it's called what's that room called? JVC room. And it held about 15 to 18,000 people. It was insane. And I'll never forget that night. It's like everything I did, move my hand, dance, shake, whatever the audience would do, they would repeat, they would do exactly or mimic everything I did. And it was like, we had so much fun. It was amazing. Wow. And so when I walked off stage, I was walking down the ramp. It was a big ramp because it was a huge stage. So walking down this ramp and this man walked up to me and he said, hi, my name is Carl Griffin. I'm the VP of A&R at GRP Records. And I want to know, are you ready for your solo career? And I was like, huh? I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I want to know are you ready? I said, I think you're ready for your solo career.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. I was like, wow. I just was amazed.
Yeah, because I know Carl, I knew Carl from
yeah.
back in 1979. He signed me to Motown as a songwriter, and he's always had exquisite taste in music, and he's got such great ears, and he's found like these old gems of songs, like Tell Me Something Good is an old Stevie Wonder tune. The demo was horrible. He saw something in it and placed it with Chaka Khan and Rufus, and then he took, Until You Come Back to Me was an old Stevie song, and he placed it with Aretha, Until You Come Back to Me. Yeah, Carl found that song, and he used to go to that North Sea Jazz Festival, so he was there in attendance and saw you sing and offered you like
a deal right there with GRP, a blue thumb. Yep. So I remember calling my mother that night from the hotel, and I was like, Mommy, this man walked up to me and he said that I should get ready for my solo career. And I was like, is he joking? You think he's joking or he's serious? And it turned out to be all real. And then I signed with GRP.
Did you stop working with Incognito to do your to do your solo career, or did you just tell them, I'm going to put things on hold until I finish this thing here?
Oh no! I quit
Wow.
Incognito at that time. Yeah.
And so, what was your? So you signed with GRP, and what was the process? Did they choose songs for you? Did you write your own songs? Did they hook you up with?
Oh no, I wrote a lot of them. We chose some
did?
with Barry Eastman. Worked with Barry Eastman for the first time. We recorded strings at Abbey Road. We did that album. My first solo album. I'm still paying for it this day. It was worth it because it's like one of my most popular records.
What do you mean you're still paying for it today?
Oh, because of royalties. I'll never see that royalty.
Right, because
the album costs a fortune. It costs like $250 or $350,000 to make.
But being with a label like GRP, which was, eventually Universal, which is one of the largest record companies in the world, certainly it had to open some kind of doors. There were venues that now are open to you. Agents must have been taking a harder look at you, and promoters and all those kinds of people and managers. Is that what happened? Was like once you kind of sign with a major label, it's quite a leap forward, and a lot of people don't understand that. When you sign with a major, all of a sudden your records are everywhere. You are everywhere.
Right.
They just plug it into this worldwide system, and it's just kind of lovely and magical. What effect did that have on your life?
It was huge. I loved being back in America, being with my parents, be able to be home. Just my father passed just before my record came out. When I was recording and writing it for the album, my father passed away. So I was glad to be able to be home, to be with my family, and take care of my mom, and make sure she was okay. So that part I was really grateful for. I ended up going back to sing with Incognito still, and I still do to this day. So I wasn't away too long. They did an album, a fantastic album called 100 Degrees and Rising, and we both had albums at the same time that were big successes. So
wow,
I just think it was real cool.
Do you like working with producers? That's okay.
Let's stop for a second. I gotta cuss everybody out for 1 minute. Hold on. Hey y'all, I'm doing an interview. You really can't make too much noise for 3 more minutes, okay?
Shut the hell up down there. I'm talking with Slim Man up here. Let's talk about your new CD, Love is a Battlefield.
Yeah, it's cool.
Your take on Love is a Battlefield is really great.
Thank you.
You took a song that was kind of a rockin' Pat Benatar thing and made it into something that would absolutely change someone's perspective if they heard your version of it. And not only that, if they saw the video, which is just wonderful. How did you do that video? Did you hire somebody professional? Because that looks slicker than...
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, my the publicist at Shawnee, Monifa Brown, her husband did the video. I just described to her, the reason why I did the song this way, when I was starting at the producers, they were, I think the producers and Shawnee, they really didn't, they thought I should change the song. They didn't think I knew what I was doing. And they were like, why would you want to do this song? Like, lyrically, like, it doesn't really match you. Like, what do you want to do? Why do you want to do this? I said, well, let me tell you something. The lyric, I want to slow it down. I want to make it more Sade-ish, kind of vibey, sexy, and cool. But the gist of it, what I want other people to understand is that we are out here. We have reason to protest. Our lives are changing dramatically, and we have so much going on, so much we are unhappy with, and people are trying to protest, trying to do the right thing, and we're getting resistance and all these kind of things. So what I wanted to say, the lyrics: we are young, heartache to heartache we stand. No promises, no demands. Love is a battlefield. We are strong, and no one can tell us we're wrong. Searching our hearts for so long, So those lyrics I was trying to say is that, because it seems like the battle of love and evil, love and hate, or good and evil, all of that seems to be more prominent than ever. Of course, it's always been around, but in the last year or so, I would say, it's been even more.
Yes,
and as I've seen the destruction and the hate and the division and all of that kind of stuff. So I just thought that lyric was perfect. When I heard on the radio, I was like, oh my God, I got to do this, but I'm going to change it up because I need this to be a different focus. So when I told her husband about the video and what kind of vibe I wanted to understand, I wanted to be inclusive of everyone because we're all human beings. It's like, and people, we have race. There's race, and I'm a black woman, so I'm always going to be a black woman. I always want to be a black woman. I'm proud to be a black woman. But I also do know that we are all human. First of all, we're all human beings. And we all have blood and skin and teeth and hair, and we're all the same. So I want people to understand that stuff based on race, we've got to cut this. That's the biggest thing we got to stop in this whole world.
The thing that I thought was really brilliant was that you took a song, "Love Is a Battlefield," that was a romantic song that was initially sung by Pat Benatar as like a man to a woman, woman to man kind of song, a romantic song, and you took it and you put this spin on it that I would have never thought that a lyric like that could be about something other than romance. But I gotta give it to you, Maysa. You really turned it around and turned it on its ear, and it's really brilliant. So are you out there touring and stuff, supporting the record? Are you just taking any date that comes in?
We're touring, and the album re-entered the charts at #1 this week, the smoothjazz.com charts, and it re-entered the Billboard Top 20 smooth jazz albums and records, and I'm just like in awe. Like, the album's been out since May 26th, and I kind of had just, chilled. I said, okay, well, I'm still promoting it, and we still do a little bit here and there, but for some reason, for this week, it just came back up, and I don't know what's going on, but I'm so excited.
Before a show, do you have a favorite meal that you'd like to you like to eat or something? Is there something that you like to have before a show?
No, I just not really. I don't. I'm having a hard time lately eating before, and I know that's a bad thing, but what's kept my voice going, I think, is that I sleep well before the show, and I eat a good meal before the show, and I'm able to sustain because I do 2 and 3 hour shows now. So it's like, so it's able to help me out. But now it's just like, I try to make myself eat something good before I go on stage. So it could be anything.
Do you cook at all? Do you like to cook?
Oh yeah, I do a lot of cooking. Oh yeah.
What kind of stuff do you cook?
The last few months I haven't done a lot, but I have Sunday dinners sometimes at the house, and I make something called butter chicken that I kind of put a little soul into it, and it's from an Indian dish, but I put a little soulfulness in it that my family loves, and they kind of inhale it every time I make it. So I make that and something called baked chicken ziti and all that kind of stuff. So and pound cakes and all that kind of stuff, chocolate cakes, stuff like that.
Well, Maysa, I really appreciate you taking time out of reconstructing your house and moving all that stuff back and forth. I do appreciate it, and I wish you all the best.
Problem,
Is there anything you want to talk about that I haven't talked about already? We got to remind folks, every Sunday night, Facebook Live, go see Maysa, Maysa, 7:30 Eastern Time, and you do your karaoke thing, and it's really extraordinarily popular. Your new CD is called Love Is a Battlefield, and we recommend it highly here in Slim Land, and you can get it at Amazon.com. And, of course, everybody kind of knows where to find you, right? Maysa.com, is that your website?
Yep. And that leads you to all my other little social media stuff.
All right. Well, listen, good luck, Maysa. I appreciate you having a chat with me.
I appreciate you calling. All right. Thanks, honey.
So there you go, Slim people. That was pretty good, huh? That was interesting. Maysa, she's such a sweetheart, and she's got such a great voice. You should check out her new CD, Love Is a Battlefield. I got myself a copy. I got a CD on Amazon. I have no idea what I'm going to play it on, but I got one. Alrighty, let's close the show with one of my favorite Slim Man songs. This is from the CD 1,000 Miles Away, a CD that has sold well under 1 million copies, by the way. Here's a song called Sunny Day, Slight Return. I wanna hold you in the morning light. I want to start my day off right. I wanna see you in the noonday sun. my only one. When the skies are cold and gray, you seem to chase the clouds away. It's been cold for way too long. Let me wrap my arms around you. Move a bit closer, stay a while longer on my sunny day. Move a bit closer, stay a while longer on my sunny day. Sitting by the riverside, the nightingales and you and I, waiting for the sun to rise, looking out on the horizon, waiting for a brand new day and the promise that it brings. It's been cold for way too long. Won't you wrap your arms around me? Move a bit closer, stay a while longer on a sunny day. Move a bit closer, stay a while longer on my sunny day. Move a bit closer, stay a while longer, you're my sunny day. Closer and closer, stronger and stronger, you're my sunny day.